In the heart of Akwasi Krom, a small but bustling village surrounded by thick forest, lived Adzo, a young woman known for her intelligence and kind heart. She was the only daughter of Memia, a hardworking seamstress who had raised her alone after Adzo's father died when she was a child. Though life was tough, Memia dreamed of a brighter future for her daughter. Adzo was different from most girls in the village. While others dreamed of marriage, she longed to be a teacher, to educate the young girls of Akwasi Krom so they could have choices beyond early marriage and farm work. Her mother supported her dream, even if the elders of the village believed women should not desire more than home and children. But Adzo's beauty and ambition caught the wrong kind of attention. Kwame Panin, the chief's nephew, had wanted her for years. He was a man used to getting whatever he desired. His uncle, the chief, often ignored his misdeeds, believing he was just a young man enjoying life. Adzo, however, always rejected Kwame. She found him arrogant and cruel, with no respect for women. But Kwame was not a man to accept rejections. One fateful evening, Adzo went to the village market to buy food for her mother. The sun had begun to set, and the sky was painted in beautiful shades of orange and purple. She greeted the women selling roasted plantains, the old men playing draughts, and the children running barefoot through the dusty paths. On her way home, she took the forest path, the fastest route back. She had walked this way many times before, but that night felt different. There was a heavy silence, as if the trees themselves were holding their breath. Then, before she could react, Kwame Panin appeared from the shadows. "Adzo, you cannot run forever," he said with a smirk. She turned to leave, but two of his friends blocked her way. Her heart pounded. She was trapped.
"Please, let me go,"
she pleaded. Kwame stepped closer, his eyes dark with hunger. "You think you are too good for me? Tonight, you will learn that no woman denies Kwame Panin." What happened next was something Adzo would relive in her nightmares for years. The trees bore witness, the earth soaked up her tears, but no one came to save her. When it was over, she stumbled home, broken and ashamed. But she told no one. Weeks passed. Adzo buried her pain deep within her, pretending everything was normal. But soon, her body betrayed her. The sickness in the mornings, the dizziness, the sudden exhaustion, it all pointed to one truth. She was pregnant. The village healer confirmed her worst fear. Adzo collapsed into tears in her mother's arms. "Who did this to you?" Memia demanded, shaking with rage. Adzo hesitated. She knew the truth could destroy her mother, could bring shame upon them both. But she could not carry this burden alone. "Kwame Panin," she whispered. Her mother's eyes widened. The chief's nephew. Fear gripped them both. They knew how powerful Kwame's family was. If they accused him, the village might not believe them. Worse, they might turn against them. "You must tell the elders," Memia said. Adzo shook her head. "No one will believe me. They will say I wanted it." Her mother held her close, but there were no words to fix this pain. Adzo could not live with the knowledge that the man who had stolen her dignity now had a claim over her future. The child growing inside her was a constant reminder of her pain. She needed justice. She went to Kwame's home that night. He was drinking palm wine with his friends, boasting as usual. When he saw her, he laughed. "Oh, my wife has come," he teased, making his friends roar with laughter. Adzo's hands trembled as she stepped forward. "I need to speak with you. Alone." Kwame, amused, waved his friends away. "What do you want, girl?" "I am pregnant," she said, voice shaking. "With your child." Kwame's smile vanished. Then he laughed. "And so? What do you expect me to do? Marry you?" He leaned closer. "I do not marry girls I use once." Tears burned in Adzo's eyes. She wanted him to feel the shame she had carried. "Take responsibility," she pleaded. Kwame smirked. "I owe you nothing. Now leave before I make you regret coming here." Something inside her snapped. The pain, the humiliation, the hopelessness, it all boiled over in that moment. Her hand found the knife in her basket, the one she had brought to cut yams. Before she could think, it was in her hands, and then, it was in his chest. Kwame gasped, eyes wide with shock. He staggered back, hands clutching the knife. Blood poured from the wound. You. He collapsed. Adzo stood frozen. She had done it. She had ended him. The next morning, the village was in an uproar. The chief was furious. Kwame's family demanded vengeance. Adzo was arrested. The village court gathered. The elders listened as she told her story, voice trembling, but the men shook their heads. You have killed a man, the oldest elder said. And for that, you must face the consequences. But he took everything from me. Adzo cried. The chief's face remained stone cold. Kwame Panin is dead. That cannot be undone. We cannot let this crime go unpunished. The verdict was clear. 5 years in prison. Dear viewers, is this justice or punishment? Please let me know what you think in the comments section. Now let's continue our story. As Adzo was led away, her mother wept, but the village was silent. Some women lowered their heads, hiding their tears. They knew. They understood. But they were powerless to speak. Prison was harsh. Adzo gave birth to a baby boy behind bars, a child she struggled to love. But with time, she found strength. Women in the prison whispered her name with reverence. She fought back, they said. She did what many of us could not. When she was finally released, 5 years older, 5 years wiser, she returned to Akwasi Krom not as a broken woman, but as a symbol of defiance. She became the voice for the voiceless, speaking for young girls who suffered in silence. And though the world had once punished her for defending herself, history remembered her as a warrior, not a criminal. Moral lesson. Justice is not always served by the powerful, but those who stand for what is right will never be forgotten. Dear amazing viewers, I hope you enjoyed this story. If you do, please subscribe, like and comment for more. Thanks for watching.